I knew you were in Instacam. I don't even think I acknowledged your presence in Instacam, so I don't even know why you think I would say, hey, barklord, I made a response video to you. You know what? There's this thing here. You know, you can just sign up to the person's page, you know, and then you can just bookmark their channel page. And then every 2 or 3 days, if you're interested, you go see what they've done or what their videos they've made. But apparently you're not subscribed to any of the people that watch my videos, because then you could just go to your YouTube channel page and there would be like, here's recommended by the people who what they liked and all that stuff, and I'm sure my videos would show up there. So, but whatever. Yeah, it's the cost of being an asshole. Sorry, too bad.
Made a video since then, so it's kind of funny. I made my anti-natalism video. Let's see, when was that? Well, I guess it was on the same day. 3rd, Friday. So anyway, so I did not know that he was responding to my comments, and so yeah, that's fair enough. But I'm also going to respond point by point to his response to Professor Anton. I have plenty of notes, and I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to make a point by point response because Boo Boo Kitten.
Whatever, I don't think that's going to happen. But go ahead, try. That was one of the best videos I've made, so that's a top 10er. So good luck refuting anything in that video.
Emendum Troll, Emendum Tron, Emendum, I don't know what she calls herself now. She doesn't think that anybody has the guts to do it, or the brains. And actually, I think people are basically so bored to sit through a 15-minute video or a 45-minute video going point by point refuting every single insult and every mistaken logic and every single thing that you have any...
Well, whatever. That's really not what takes place, okay? It's not every single thing. These are sort of big things, okay? When somebody says the gift nature of death, I mean, these are things worth discussing. Come on. Don't be silly.
Disagreement with. That's what you got to do. And then so he comes back with another one. It's just exactly like what Graytex said. But I'm going to do it. Because I don't think Gary is completely a moron, but he likes to think that everybody else is a complete moron. And I'm starting to get to the point now where possibly he is a complete and utter moron.
Yeah, whatever. So I think you're a moron, you think I'm a moron. Fine. That makes sense, okay? That does make sense. I mean, that's really the way it should be. Because you are a fucking goddamn moron. You haven't figured out that there is no God, and that God's name isn't DNA. I mean, there's more evidence of Noah's Ark than, you know, Pyrrho's feeling paramecium.
Or it just doesn't think that anybody else has a clue. Or the guts. He's the toughest guy. Gary, you are the toughest. You got it upstairs, and you know what everybody else should do, don't you?
Well, whatever. It's not really talking about what people should do, I suppose, in the biggest picture. I mean, we all are going to say, yeah, it's not good. You'd probably recommend that people not beat their wife. I'm sure you would recommend that. Or if they had an impulse to go play with a child, you'd say, no, don't do that. It's not a good thing. Yeah, so just having ideas, you know, that you're willing to put on the table and throw them out there and say consumption, reproduction, cannibalism, and addiction. Come on, what else? What's the other magic words?
Fucker. So I'm going to go through this, and yeah, I'll just go through it. Here we go.
I don't know. I guess this will be a video kind of a little bit more on the anti-natals and stuff, but it's sort of directed at some comments or inspired by comments by barklord. So in a Graytex video, he, again, I'll just throw this in. It's not really relevant, but
he will comment here.
He made some crap about the National Geographic thing again.
They're coming.
Like somehow reading those kind of source books.
No, maybe I didn't make myself clear. My joke about the National Geographic books on your fucking bookshelf that you pointed at and made reference to in another video was that you stopped reading science.
Well, whatever. I really didn't stop reading science, but even if I did, what science are you saying I'm ignorant of? Oh, you mean to be serious is phantasmagorical bullshit science that isn't really science? Or do you think there's life on Mars too? Or, no, I mean, she doesn't believe that, but I could give that as an example. You're a truther, right? You know, the CIA did 9/11, right? So what science are you claiming I'm ignorant of? What? String multi-dimensional fart glass? I mean, what is it, asshole? You're the one reading 400-year-old philosophers. All right, the last time you did a little book review showing us your books, they were all a bunch of Camus poo-poo on doo-doo. I mean, it was a bunch of duty books. I mean, just old, archaic crap made up when people had no idea what a microbe was.
That's what you read. You don't read any. You don't think you need anything else. That was.
Well, I'm just saying that, yeah, I don't need anything else. That's, in a way, it is true. I've said it before. We got Einstein and we got Darwin. What else do you need, fucker? Okay, it's kind of game over. We know what this is. We know where we came from, and we know what we're made out of. All right, and none of it's good.
It's what you kind of insinuated in that video, if I'm not mistaken. I don't even know or care what video it was. So if you misunderstood, it wasn't that, or perhaps I didn't make myself clear.
Yeah, perhaps you didn't, but it was just more raggy conversation.
It's not to put down the source of National Geographic. It's the fact that you don't need anything but National Geographic. You got it all sewn up and figured out, don't you?
Well, look, it wasn't the only books I've read, but the fact is, again, like I said, there's like 600 of them. I read at least, maybe 500 of them I have. Yeah, a lot of shit in there. A lot of good stuff.
Gary.
And Popular Mechanics. You're going to reference that later. Yeah, I read Popular Mechanics. You learn a lot reading Popular Mechanics.
It's basically fact-based, statistics, information.
Good magazine.
Science, especially the old days.
Popular magazine.
But somehow, that reservoir of knowledge is a joke.
Not a joke. It's just not the whole thing. And it's not what other people read when they want to get more
bullshitty. Yeah, in depth, right. No, I'm afraid not. All right, you're talking just if you want some kind of hookum spookum interpretations of our reality. Yeah, National Geographic doesn't do stories on your DNA god and the fable of the singularity. I don't think they did any stories on singularities.
Because it's not.
I don't think I would, claim to know everything about auto mechanics by reading, Popular Mechanics.
Yeah, well, like I say, if you actually read every issue of Popular Mechanics since whatever the publication date, 1950, whatever, you'd be a pretty damn good mechanic. Yeah, it's there. It's all there. If you read it all, you're going to be a mechanic.
Right? Is that a fair analogy? Or am I just way off base?
Yeah, you're way off base, actually. Yeah, I never even read a goddamn book about auto mechanics, and I worked as an auto mechanic. So, yeah.
Written by somebody 400 years ago, full of bibble-babble, mystical fairy tale.
Is that what I do, Gary? I just read bibble-babble fairy tale stuff?
Yeah, that was your last book review. Yeah, I mean, I could go back and look for the video and think, I don't know, you take it down or not, but yeah, you just showed a bunch of little fairy books.
I could point to some of my books. That's not I don't read bibble-babble fairy tale stuff, but I realize that your channel is essentially entertainment, right? For people, because you like to mischaracterize them.
Yeah, whatever. Again, you want to make that accusation, you can make it, but I don't think you're going to prove anything. I don't think you can prove it. I don't think you could take the 2,000 of my videos and find this huge bulk of preposterous mischaracterizations. I've made mistakes, okay, in terms of how I've interpreted. Like I interpreted your National Geographic comment, because you didn't put in there outdated, okay? You just said tattered. So I didn't know what the point was. Well, they're just dirty, stupid old books. That was the implication. So yeah, you want to call that a deliberate, willful distortion on my part?
Right? You're not naming any actual books that I've read. You're not pointing to anything that I'm claiming to actually know or not know, or being familiar with.
Yeah, I do. I argue your religion of circle of life DNA bullshit.
You're just saying bibble babble fairy tale stuff. Is this your argument, Gary?
Language. So
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm the one that has the argument on the table, all right? You're the people who has this fuzzy, foggy, well, it might make sense, there might be something more, maybe, possibly we could do something, maybe, possibly, incrementally.
therefore, it's not credible, learned.
We'll skip this.
Correctly, huh? Maybe.
As you would say, fail. I'll just get to it. Defending reproduction as the same as defending drunk driving. Sorry, fail. Yeah.
I did make some sort of accusation that I didn't read his comments correctly, and they're substantially correct. So this is just, whatever. So that was bullshit.
Saying sorry, fail, is real fail when you do it with something that's not obviously fail. So unless it's obviously fail, you fail.
To me, it's not an exact, it's not even really all that close. I mean, you make a pretty good argument here, and I'll play the rest of it. But actually, drunk driving is illegal because it is reckless, and the person who is operating a dangerous piece of equipment is impaired.
Yeah, right. So people aren't impaired by their religion, or their silly notions, or their ego, or being drunk. Okay, you're going to tell me that most people riding, their penis, are doing it with a sound mind. Yeah, sorry. I don't think so. Well, anyway, so he concedes part of that point, so we'll jump ahead a little bit for the hell of it.
That you want to jump for joy.
Their kid comes.
Oh, jump. I missed that. I got to find out what that is.
Most people that commute to work don't die.
So they satisfy their desire. They are not inconvenienced. They, get away with it. Everything's just fine. And for most parents, it sort of works out.
Sort of works out, doesn't it? Not bad. Not totally bad. Pretty good sometimes. Sometimes you just don't know what your life would be like without children. Sometimes it's so good that you want to jump for joy.
Oh, whatever. That's not the point. The point is that the downside risk isn't being paid by the person winning. All right? It's being paid by the other guy, the consciousness left in the gutter, the one that ends up in the mental institution for 50 years, or the one that's retarded, or the one that's autistic, or the one that's in some other who knows what kind of horror they're living through state. All right? They're the one paying the fucking price, shithead.
Their kid comes.
But you wouldn't know that.
Out.
No, you wouldn't know that.
Basically turns into some sort.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Right, I can't imagine. What's a kid? I've never seen one of those. I have no idea what they are. Yeah. Fuck you.
Maybe it's just been a long time since you actually enjoyed anything.
Another cheap accusation, another cheap personal bullshit. It has nothing to do with the argument that nature has no brain. It doesn't invent good games. We're playing a bad, stupid, moronic game.
Reasonable citizen. But it's bare.
Reasonable citizen, huh?
Barely most.
Oh, what a horrible thing to... What a fucking outrageous thing to say. We should be reasonable citizens. No.
A huge percentage of kids don't turn out right. We can go down.
You mean don't turn out perfect?
No, they turn out catastrophic.